At 8:08 a.m. this morning, flight AI-171 disappeared from radar screens. 242 people on board, one survivor. This is the story of India's deadliest aviation disaster in over a decade. Air India Flight 171 was supposed to be routine. London Gatwick bound, carrying 169 Indians, 53 Britons, 7 Portuguese and 1 Canadian. A Boeing 787 Dreamliner, the aircraft that had never crashed before today. At exactly 8:08 a.m. local time, Flight 171 began its takeoff roll down Ahmedabad's runway. Witnesses described seeing flames trailing from the aircraft just seconds after it lifted off. The Boeing 787, carrying 242 souls, was climbing when something went catastrophically wrong. Video footage shows the aircraft banking sharply to the right before descending rapidly toward a residential area. The last radar contact was at 08:08:51 UTC, just moments after takeoff. Whatever happened, it happened fast. Seat 11A. That's where Vishwash Kumar Ramesh, a UK citizen, was sitting when Flight 171 went down. Somehow, impossibly, he survived. While 290 plus others perished around him, Ramesh was pulled from the wreckage conscious and breathing. Police Commissioner G.S. Malik confirmed he's hospitalized but stable. What makes his survival even more remarkable is his seat location. Typically, survival rates are highest in the rear of aircraft. But Ramesh was in the forward section. His story of survival in the face of such devastating loss may hold crucial clues about what happened in those final seconds. This isn't Air India's first deadly crash. In 2010, a Boeing 737 overshot the runway in Mangalore, killing 158. In 2020, an Air India Express flight skidded off the runway in Kerala, claiming 21 lives. Under government ownership, the airline struggled with maintenance issues, aging aircraft, and financial losses. When Tata Group acquired Air India in 2022, CEO Campbell Wilson promised to build a world-class airline. Today's crash represents the ultimate test of that promise, and potentially its greatest failure. The black boxes, the flight data recorder, and cockpit voice recorder are now the most important pieces of evidence in India. These devices, designed to survive the most extreme crashes, will tell investigators exactly what happened in Flight 171's final moments. Was it mechanical failure, pilot error, weather, sabotage? The Boeing 787's sophisticated systems record thousands of parameters every second. If the black boxes survived intact, they'll provide a minute-by-minute, second-by-second account of the disaster. India's Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau, working with international experts, faces enormous pressure to provide answers. Prime Minister Narendra Modi called the tragedy heartbreaking beyond words, while UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer described the scenes as devastating. With 53 British nationals among the dead, this disaster has become an international crisis. Foreign Secretary David Lammy confirmed crisis teams are operating in both Delhi and London. Aviation Minister Kinjarapu Ram Mohan Naidu is personally monitoring the situation, but political pressure is mounting. How could India's flagship carrier, fresh from its privatization and modernization efforts, suffer such a catastrophic failure? The political implications could reshape India's aviation industry. The impact zone tells a story of unimaginable force. The Boeing 787's tail section, standing like a monument to tragedy, pierces through the concrete and steel of the medical hostel. Debris scattered across hundreds of meters, fires that burned for hours, consuming everything in their path. Emergency responders describe a scene from hell: twisted metal, personal belongings scattered like confetti, and the acrid smell of aviation fuel mixed with smoke. The crash site has become a crime scene, sealed off as investigators work to piece together the final moments of Flight 171. For the families rushing to Ahmedabad, this devastation represents the end of everything they held dear. For Tata Group and Air India CEO Campbell Wilson, this crash represents an existential threat to their airline's future. After investing billions in fleet modernization and promising world-class service, how do you rebuild trust after 290-plus people die on your watch? The airline's stock price will plummet. Bookings will decline. Lawsuits are inevitable. But beyond the financial devastation lies a deeper question. Can Air India survive this crisis? The company's primary focus on supporting affected families rings hollow when families are planning 290-plus funerals. This disaster doesn't just threaten Air India's reputation, it could end the airline entirely. This crash sends shockwaves far beyond India, the Boeing 787's perfect safety record gone. Airlines worldwide that operate the 787 are reviewing their procedures, passengers are questioning the aircraft's safety, and Boeing faces potential scrutiny from regulators globally. If investigators find a design flaw or systemic issue with the 787, it could ground fleets worldwide, costing billions and affecting millions of travelers. The ripple effects of Flight 171's crash will be felt in every airport, every airline boardroom, and every aviation authority around the world. This single disaster could reshape how we think about aviation safety in the modern era. In living rooms across India, Britain, Portugal, and Canada, families are receiving the worst news imaginable. A knock on the door. A phone call that changes everything. Your loved one was on Flight 171. The arithmetic of grief, 290 plus. Families shattered in an instant. Children who will never see their parents again. Parents who will never hold their children. The survivors' guilt of those who missed the flight, changed their plans, or said goodbye at the departure gate. Air India has activated family assistance programs, but how do you assist someone whose world has just ended? The real tragedy isn't just the crash, it's the lifetime of grief that begins when the cameras stop rolling. What caused a state-of-the-art Boeing 787 to fall from the sky? Investigators are exploring every possibility. Engine failure during takeoff, the most critical phase of flight. Structural failure of the composite materials that make the 787 unique. Pilot error under extreme pressure. Weather conditions that may have been worse than reported. Or something even more sinister, sabotage or terrorism. The aircraft's age, 11 years, puts it in its maintenance-heavy middle years. Every bolt, every wire, every computer system will be scrutinized. The 787's revolutionary design, with its composite fuselage and advanced systems, presents unique challenges for investigators. If they can't determine the cause, it could ground the entire 787 fleet worldwide. Within hours, Ahmedabad became the center of a global media store. Reporters, cameras, satellite trucks, all descending on a city in mourning. But with the story moving at internet speed, misinformation spreads faster than facts. Fake survivor counts, bogus terrorism claims, conspiracy theories about Boeing cover-ups. Social media amplifies every rumor, while families desperate for information can't separate truth from fiction. Officials struggle to control the narrative, while investigation evidence remains confidential. In the age of 24/7 news cycles, accurate reporting becomes secondary to being first. The story of Flight 171 becomes as much about how we consume tragedy as it is about the tragedy itself. The economic impact ripples outward like a stone thrown in water. Air India's parent company Tata Group sees billions wiped from its market value. India's tourism industry braces for impact as international confidence shakes. Boeing's stock price plummets as airlines worldwide reconsider 787 orders. Insurance companies prepare for one of aviation's largest ever payouts. The Ahmedabad airport faces potential lawsuit and safety reviews. Local businesses near the crash site suffer as the area becomes a restricted zone. But the true economic cost isn't measured in stock prices or insurance claims. It's in the human capital lost, the dreams unrealized, the contributions these 290+ people would have made to society. Aviation authorities worldwide are scrambling to respond. India's Directorate General of Civil Aviation launches an immediate safety review of all Air India operations. The European Aviation Safety Agency considers special inspections of European-operated 787s. The FAA faces pressure to ground the 787 fleet pending investigation results. But regulatory responses take time, and public confidence evaporates instantly. Airlines operating the 787 must decide: continue flying and risk passenger boycotts, or ground their fleets and lose millions daily. For regulators, the nightmare scenario is another 787 crash before they can identify and fix whatever caused Flight 171 to fall. The race against time has global implications.